Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have been promising for an updated brow routine, and I promise today is the day. I do want to start off by saying that this is not a sponsored video. I am going to be using all Benefit products, but this is not sponsored. This is something that I do every single day. This is my routine, so yeah. Now, I want to show you guys really quick, like my brow hairs have grown significantly since I started doing YouTube and everything like that. I used to pluck because thin eyebrows were a thing. I promise, I swear, they were a thing when I was in like high school, and I am suffering now, but I've left them alone. I stopped tweezing. I only tweeze if I have like a rogue hair or like one in the middle or whatever. Are you a basic witch? Because I am. Okay, so first I start off with like nothing in my brows. These are them in their natural habitat. And I'm starting off with the Browvo Conditioning Primer. I really feel like this has helped me a lot too. It definitely has like some vitamins in it that will help your brow hairs grow. So I'll usually twist it and then put it on the back of my hand and kind of rub it through the bristles. And then stroke my brow hairs upwards, kind of like taming them to go into the positions that I want them to. I have very curly brow hairs, so I need them to be tamed. Lord, I need them tamed. I also am gonna show you how I trim some of them, because some of these end pieces are a little insane looking right now. And then you see right here how some of the hairs are like out of line. They're kind of like crooked and curly. I am going to literally take my scissor and just trim them on a little bit, like on an angle. That way they're a little bit more cleaned up. If you do have very straight brow hairs, I don't recommend doing that. This is for you curly hair biatches out there. You can already see just by brushing the brow hairs up, they already look a million times more full. Next, I go in with my Goof Proof pencil. This is in the shade number 2. This is the cool tone shade. Can this not, like, friggin' blonde hair problems, I swear. So the way that the Benefit shades work is like 2, 4, and 6 are cool tones, and then 1, 3, and 5 are the warm tones. This has a spoolie on one end, and then this kind of has a teardrop shape. This is very similar to a brow definer, only I feel like this shape is better because it has more of a pointed tip. It allows you to create more thin lines, which I really like. I like to first start out right here in the beginning of the brow, kind of underlining first. Once you have that defined shape underneath, I feel like it's so much easier to see which way your brows are gonna go and all that good stuff. So I do like to underline kind of fiercely in the bottom, just because I need that shape. Like, I need to know which direction I'm going with my brows. And then I always like to extend a little bit at the end, kind of like making a little tail there. It is all about preference, ladies and gentlemen, all about preference. And then what I like to do is flick my wrist. No, but literally, I like to flick my wrist upwards and kind of fill in any bare, baldy kind of spots, just stroking upwards. This is the way I like to do my brows. So if you like to do it differently, or if you do it differently, there is no wrong way, girl. Just rock what you want. Taking the side of the brush, literally, and just filling in, stroking downwards where my natural hairline would be, kind of just like accentuating that, filling it in. This is so easy. That's literally why they named it Goof Proof, because using this product, it's impossible to mess up. I like to make more of a rounded shape there, so I'm just kind of making that rounded shape and filling that in. And then you can do that same thing, kind of following up to the beginning of the eyebrow, just filling it in, using the brow pencil, stroking downwards. Okay, so as you can see right there, there is a pretty dramatic difference between my brow that's not filled in and the brow that is filled in. Feel free to stop right here. You can literally make it as fierce or as natural of a brow that you want. I would say for me, this is pretty natural because I like to really fill in my brows. I'm missing a lot of hairs. I have bald spots in some areas, so this is kind of the most natural looking my brows are going to get. I would love to see for 2017 a more like wild and funky kind of brow, you know, like not so neat and precise. That being said, for my dramatic brow, I like to use the Ka-Brow. Now I use this in shade number 3 because I need it to be slightly darker because I'll use this to kind of outline my edges of my brow hairs. One of the reasons why I actually do this is because they are curly and I kind of need that line to keep them in shape, you know? So you can take your Ka-Brow little wand, hook it on the back, and then this is like a pomade. This is very similar to one of those, and you want to just get a nice little heaping on your brush. And then when I am doing this, I just am kind of outlining where everything is, and then I'll kind of go on top, round that out a bit, fill that in, drag it out to the tail. So you can see like this is definitely more defined, a little bit darker compared to this brow where it doesn't have the defined edges. It's a little bit more messy. So it really just depends on your preference. So I'm gonna fill in the other brow and then I'll show you my last and final step. I like to set my brows, whether you have curly, straight, in between wavy brow hairs, you should always set them with some type of a gel. That way they're staying in place and it's a guarantee that they won't be moving throughout the day. So I like to use the Benefit Ready Set Brow. It's a gel that isn't hard. You know, it's not like gonna give you those crunchy brow hairs. It still has a little bit of movement through it. So I will just brush the brow hairs up in the front to keep that nice shape, and then just go along and really making sure that everything is in place. It's really important to remember that brows are sisters, not twins, okay? Okay guys, and literally that is how I fill in my brows. I hope you enjoyed this update, this little tutorial. These steps might not be for everybody. Some of you might be watching and will be like, girl, I don't have time to do all that, and that is totally fine. Do whatever you can, do whatever feels comfortable to you. Makeup is fun, there's no rules, so at the end of the day, just do what makes you happy. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.